In today's video, I will show you a creamy beef bowl with over 60 grams of protein that can be made in under 20 minutes. First off, you will need about 300 grams of potatoes. I personally peel the potatoes because it leads to a crispier outside when frying them in the pan, but you can totally leave the skin on if you prefer. Potatoes lose about 20% of their weight after peeling, so I end up with 250 grams worth of peeled potatoes. The next step is to cut them. First, I will cut off one slice to create a stable base, then I will cut them into big planks, then again into smaller french fries, and lastly, turn them and cut them into smaller cubes. This ensures that the potatoes cook evenly and faster. After that, take out a microwave-safe container, put all the potatoes into it, and microwave them on 600 watts for about 5 minutes. Next is the protein sauce, and I will use 180 grams of extra lean ground beef. This particular one has 5% fat. If you only have access to regular ground beef, that is fine, but it will have about double the calories because regular ground beef has 20% fat. Next are the vegetables, and I will keep it simple here, starting with one red bell pepper. I will first remove the core, then slice it into bigger planks, then turn and cut them into bite-sized pieces. I will also chop up a medium yellow onion. This weighs about 50 grams. Now let's make the sauce. You will need a blender or a food processor for this. Put it on a scale and start by adding 1% fat cottage cheese. Cottage cheese is a very good protein source, however a lot of people don't like the texture, so by blending it we can fix this issue. 100 grams goes into the blender. Next is tomato passata, which is basically mashed tomatoes. You can also find this in cans. 50 grams will go into the blender. Now in these kinds of sauces, the next ingredient would usually be heavy cream. It will make this taste amazing, but it also has 300 calories per 100 gram because it has over 30% fat. Instead, I will use evaporated milk. It adds a similar sweetness as heavy cream, but with only a quarter of the calories. This is a very good substitute in my opinion. 50 grams will go in. Then, for seasoning, I will add a small pinch of salt, freshly ground black pepper, and lastly half a teaspoon of oregano. Close the blender and mix it on high for about 60 seconds until it has a nice smooth consistency, and then it's time to cook. Heat up a pan over medium heat and add about 4 grams of oil. The potatoes should be microwaved by now, so add them to the pan with a small pinch of salt and fry them for about 5 minutes, stirring occasionally. They will slowly become soft and develop a crispy and brown exterior. This is exactly what we want because it adds a ton of flavor. Once you have a nice color, push the potatoes to the side, add another touch of oil and add in the vegetables. Keep frying them for 3 to 4 minutes, stirring them every once in a while until the onions start to caramelize and brown as well. Then push the vegetables to the side, add another bit of oil, and now add in the ground beef. I will try to separate the beef as best as I can. I want to make sure that as much beef as possible comes in contact with the pan to achieve maximum browning. Every bit adds flavor. For seasoning, I will add a small pinch of salt, freshly ground black pepper, quarter teaspoon of garlic powder, and quarter teaspoon of chili powder for some heat. After a minute, I will turn the meat, and if it has brown spots like here, you can mix everything with a spatula and break up the rest of the beef. Keep frying for another minute or so until the beef is done, and then take the pan off the heat. Add in all of this creamy goodness, and then mix everything so that all of the meat, vegetables, and potatoes get coated with the sauce. And there you have a creamy beef bowl that comes in at 648 calories, 68 grams of carbs, 17 grams of fat, and 67 grams of protein. If you like this recipe, you need to check out my cookbook. Low-calorie, high-protein recipes that will help you lose weight and keep it off for the rest of your life. Finally, a diet that works. From breakfast to lunch to dessert, everything you need is in this book. And the best part is that I will constantly be updating the book, and you will receive every update for free once you've purchased the book. It's a lifetime investment into your health for $50, so in my honest opinion, that's an absolute no-brainer. The link is in the description.